Hello, my prayers. It is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers. And this is Tuned In Tarot, and we're here to look at the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy inside of self. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within us. And that is why I am here to help you be able to see where your energy is and how to change it. And one of the best ways to see that is honestly by reflecting upon the relationships that we have with people, which is why a lot of people end up here from the twin flame readings on all of the social media. That's why they end up here, because they've been looking outside externally at someone and trying to understand that relationship, and then I help you to just turn that inward so that you can understand why the relationship outside is looking the way it's looking. And then you start to realize, oh, all the relationships outside of me look a certain type of way. Okay? It's not just this one person. It's like everything. So hopefully you get the insight that you need from these readings. And today is the week ahead reading. We're looking at the general energy of this week and what we're bringing in, what the current energy is, and where we can expect it to go if we do nothing, if we don't shift or change. If we like how it's going, we can just keep going the way it's going. We're good. If it's not going so good, we might want to shift and change it. There's that. So that's what we're going to look at here today. I have a couple of little housekeeping things. Number one, you might notice there is not a live stream to register for on Wednesday. And that is because I am implementing a new means of doing my live stream that will be different than Zoom, I believe. So I'm going to test it out. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing it on Wednesday this week or a different day, but I will know, and I will be posting it on announcements about when that live stream will be. So stay tuned. And if you're not already following newsletter or member type thing, you might want to go sign up, because I will send a letter out that's like, this is what's happening. Here's the new thing. It's very exciting. I'm not going to talk a lot about it right now, but it's all going to come out in a very few days. So go sign up for the newsletter, do all the things. It's at the link. You know how to do it. I don't need to hold your hand. You know how to figure it out, right? You're smart. I know you. I see you. Okay. Anyway, go take advantage of that. So that is coming up. What else? There's something else. Oh, my mother's doing well. For those of you that have been asking, she is in a bit of pain, but that's to be expected. But she's on hitting all the markers for her recovery, and she's able to text me regularly throughout the day while she's going through her different treatments and everything. So she's doing well. I'm in much better spirits today than I was the last couple of days. And I was just, the way that I described it was, it's like when you're a passenger in a car and you feel like, well, I wasn't really doing anything, but you were in the car for hours and it was just like fatiguing. Or even if you're driving the car and having to be aware of everything that's going on, it was just like kind of being like that, like in a state like that for many hours, until I finally felt like, oh, okay, she's going to be okay. But now I feel good. Okay. Let's keep going, or start, rather. Let's start into the reading. So we're going to look at the overall energy of the week for the divine masculine. This is the energy of the head space. It's the analytical, the logical. It's the taking action energy. It's the projection of the inner world into the outer world type of energy. And it's associated with people who lean more strongly into that type of personality. And it doesn't have anything to do with gender. So it's unfortunate that we call it masculine and feminine. You can call it Shiva and Shakti if you would like to. This is the Shiva. This is the external, okay? The internal, the Shiva, the feminine energy is here. And this is the Alice in Wonderland Disney's deck tarot. And then this is the Tarot of the Divine. And I thought they paired well together. The artwork and the playfulness of these two decks. Okay, so this is the feminine energy, the energy of openness, receptivity, creativity, the emotion, just the inner, and it's taking things from the external and then processing it internally, right? That's the energy of that. Also can be associated with those who lean more into that type of personality, right? And if you're a blend of both, then probably a lot of times both sides will resonate with you, which is ideal, honestly, because you should be able to flow back and forth with ease. Okay. So what's the overall energy of this week? It's interesting. We've got the Justice card coming in for masculine energy. Big old gavel there. It's about to come crashing down. And then we have the Hanged Man energy, which is in this case the Hanged Woman energy from the Tarot of the Divine. So justice is what it sounds like, justice. It can be with having to do with legal issues, just kind of mundane legal issues, or it can be deeper cosmic justice type of things, karma, lessons, apologies too. It can be like really heartfelt, at revealing everything, open up, pour your heart out type apologies. It can be about things seeming fair or unfair. And then the Hanged Woman or the Hanged Man in this deck is all about suspending ourselves for a moment, taking a pause, taking a beat, reflecting, getting perspective. And I really don't feel like this is a week of not moving. So I don't feel like this week is just going to be us hanging there in suspense. I think the justice that we're seeing is that we're all of the time we have spent in suspense, we're finally seeing this fulfillment, because the gavel is come crashing down to break through this energy of just waiting and getting like your bearings. It's like, okay, the universe is like, enough. Like, let's just get on with this thing. Like, let's get it going. That's the energy that I'm feeling overall for this week. You were hanging around for a long time, sort of waiting for this gavel to fall, and it's finally, justice is finally here. Big, really, really sensing that. That's because the underlying energy is the 9 of Flowers, which I believe in this deck would be the 9 of Wands, and then the 7 of Cups. So the 9 of Wands is showing me, again, that energy of something, the gavel about to fall kind of thing, because it's you're on the 9, you're basically at that completion stage. The next step is the 10. In the 9 of Wands, you've probably been isolated. This Hanged Man or Hanged Woman energy, you've been licking your wounds, recovering from victim mentality, being alone. And then the 7 of Cups is like, now the world is opened up to you like an oyster, and you have all of these options and all of this wealth and abundance and all of these different directions that you could go in. And it's this feeling of, finally, there's justice. I've healed my wounds, and I'm finally seeing all these opportunities come through, and justice is here, and I can choose a path now. And I did a reading for TikTok, which I probably will be posting around 4:00, which was really about that new path or new direction. You can finally choose a way to go. So that's the overall and the underlying energy of this week. Let's see what we're carrying in from last week, or from our past in general. What are we carrying in? The 9 of Cups. Okay. And the 5 of Wands. Okay. Feeling like our wishes have been, it's really been a struggle, like a blocked energy. The masculine energy, we have the 9 of Cups here. This is our wish fulfillment. What would satisfy us? What fills us up? And it's hoarding it. It's keeping it to the self. It's feeling like you can't really pour it out or share it, because there's something preventing you from doing so. And that prevention is coming from the feminine energy. This internal conflict, this something, a desire that you have that's in direct conflict with the ability to feel stable, because the 4 of Wands is a stable energy, and the 5 of Wands, you're introducing a desire that's going to destabilize that foundation that was laid. So this has been what you carried in like last week. It was like you could see your wish fulfillment, but there was still something that was preventing it from coming through. And then the other thing I'm seeing is that the feminine energy has options. Okay, so the person that's leaning heavily into their feminine energy in this, in the connection, that person has a lot of options. Probably, a lot of potential candidates for connection or potential places to go to relocate or jobs or whatever. The feminine energy is being like seen and appreciated here and fought over. That also came through in the TikTok reading today. Like right now I'm in this situation where I barely care about my dating app and that I'm on, and I keep getting like I have like 30 matches all the time. Like I'll swipe, okay, no, because like I'm not that, like I'm being really discerning because I'm looking for, I know what I'm looking for and I know when I'm not seeing it, and so I'm like not that, but then 10 more come in their place. It's crazy. I've never experienced that. Usually it's the opposite. I have few options, and so it's very interesting to see that coming through because I definitely have that energy of competition, but like one person distinguishing themselves in this. That's the energy that I'm seeing here, is like one person is, you wish that one person would distinguish themselves, like would step up into that completion energy of the 10 that we want to get to, like bring the Ace of Cups to complete the 9 of Cups. You're bringing that in this week. And the masculine energy is probably seeing the divine feminine, that energy. He's probably seeing like the person, so the person who's in their masculine energy is probably seeing a feminine that has a lot of options, or that there is a lot of competition for that person, and there is this desire to stand out, to beat out the competition, to feel like you can go the distance or whatever it is, to stand out amongst the crowd, to be unique but not so unique that you get rejected, right? You're always on that like that edge. Okay, so that's what you're bringing in. Where are we currently? The Knight of Teacups. So we have open expression, open to the expressing of emotions, and somebody open to receiving an expression of emotions. Okay, give and take, emotional give and take, romantic exchanges, going with the flow of our feelings. And the Lovers. I can't make this shit up. I wish I could. I wish I was clever enough to shuffle through my deck, find the right cards that should come out, and like this is just insane. This is nuts. Okay, so what do you currently have? Well, your current energy of this week is that you are receiving expression of emotions and feelings. You're having romantic connections, maybe multiple romantic connections, but I'm really seeing one distinguishing themselves, one stepping out from the crowd, one that does justice to the things that you've been wishing for, is a big theme for this week. Interesting, we've got Beauty and the Beast here. So somebody might feel like this other person can see like the beauty within them. Like they might have qualities that, like, they may think of themselves as imperfect. Whether that's like some kind of these perceived flaws, what they have or what they're lacking or whatever it is. But there's this sense that there's someone who is distinguishing themselves, that stands out among the crowd, accepting you and loving you and seeing the real you, like seeing that you aren't this perception of your flaws. You have nothing to do. That's an illusion kind of also. So that's fairly beautiful. And I'm seeing you making loving, healthy choices in terms, if this is for you, if you're here because of career, and this isn't about love or romance, I'm just seeing you make very healthy choices and really having a lot of offers, competing offers that do justice to what your skills, talents, gifts, and what you also love to do. And then if you do nothing at all, if you don't take any advice that comes up from the oracles or any of the things, take into any account any of the things that I've said, where are you heading? Surrender. Surrender is a big theme of the Hanged Man as well. So this 5 of Swords, we could see this as mental conflict, but it's not, because it's coming up with the Knight of Cups, and that means you're completely in union here with the head and the heart are on the same page. So the person that's coming in is not in conflict with you. They are in agreement with you. And there is a feeling of surrendering, the desire to overthink the situation and to just go with the flow this week, which is, I'm so freaking happy to see that right now. 100%, I do see that there is a willingness for your heart to, rather than protect yourself by intellectualizing the experience you're having, just to surrender mentally the thoughts about it and just be present in the flow of love for this person who is breaking through, or the love of what you do, the work that you do. Just surrender to how much you love it. It doesn't matter if your thoughts are like, well, it's not going to make enough money, or I don't know if people are going to like it, or I'm not going to be like, it's like, I don't care. I'm surrendering to the love that I feel when I fucking do this thing. Even if I'm broke as, I don't care. I'm just going to do it because I really love it and it feels good to me. And you know what I only do now? I only care about how I feel. I only care about how I feel. And I know that if I care about how I feel, then when I have interactions with other people, that they will be healthier interactions because I care about how I feel. And because I will be projecting and hopefully attracting others who care about how they feel. And, you know, on the one hand, it could seem like, well, if people only cared about how they feel, then nobody's happy. It's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. If you care about how you feel and you have empathy for yourself, then you can have empathy for others and have the space to care about how others feel so that you can start to accommodate people's needs because your own needs are being met by yourself. And that's how it works. I will not be convinced otherwise. I'm way too stubborn. Okay, so here's the oracles. These are the cards that give you some final insight into this reading and give you any advice to take into this week. This is a beautiful energy, well-deserved justice, healing, karmic balance. It's really freaking good. I shuffled the Guardians of the Night Tarot because I like to give us a spirit animal and just the message that comes from, even though this is a tarot deck and not an oracle, it has those beautiful animal spirit messages that come through with it. And it's, let's see. Oh gosh. All my books are falling down. That's just going to keep happening. And it just has such great imagery. I just love it so much. So I use this for my spirit animal during my week ahead reading. And we got the 10 of Wands, which also came up in the TikTok reading. So I'm seeing a theme here. And the 10 of Wands is all about carrying burdens. And when it came up in the TikTok reading, I talked about it as somebody carrying the burden of a relationship. Finally, you have somebody entering in your life who wants to share the burden of a connection with you instead of making you carry it on your own. They want to actually show up and be there for you, be part of it with you. That was the message in that reading. So let's take a look at this. This says, from a distance, an idea you envisioned appeared so easy to reach without obstacles or complications to cause second thoughts. Now that you are knee-deep and committed, the task is proving to be far more challenging than anticipated. With struggle comes the risk of drowning in self-doubt, of losing passion and enthusiasm for something that once held great promise. The 10 of Wands brings the message that if you want to succeed, you will need to rekindle the fire in your belly to persevere as you are going to encounter a period of struggle before you reach a successful ending. So because this is a 10 and this is an ending, I don't feel that you're having to do that. I feel that this is explaining to you what you have been doing. I feel that you have had to rekindle the fire in your belly to persevere because you've encountered these struggles, the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords and all of the conflict. It's been really challenging. It says, you may also see this as a sign to let go and release yourself from the burden of sticking to a plan, as you may come to realize that the struggle or obstacle is far more difficult than the reward should warrant. So a lot of you may actually be anticipating that in order to go in a new direction, you have to give someone else up or something else up, and you've surrendered to that ending in order to have your new beginning. The 10 of Wands may also point to a situation where you will be the one doing the heavy lifting as others around you wait to benefit from your efforts. Of course, if you fail, it will be on your shoulders to clean up. So I think that's also telling us where we have been. We've been in a place where, as I said, you were doing the heavy lifting and someone else was benefiting from your efforts. If you live in the Ballard neighborhood of Seattle and have small kids, it is almost obligatory that you bring them to the fish ladder at the Ballard Locks to watch the salmon make their way from the Pacific Ocean up into Lake Union on their way to their final destination, Lake Washington. I thought about the salmon's long journey when it came time to create the Ten of Wands, as this fish carries with it the power of perseverance. Call on the salmon's energy when you need help navigating your way through a difficult or tumultuous situation. Let its spirit help you find the confidence to move forward over each obstacle with a knowing that you have within the power to climb higher, swim longer, and live with purpose. The salmon brings purpose, determination, renewal, and direction. So I feel that in a way, because I know that you've been on this journey for a long time, because you're here, anybody that's here has been on this journey for a minute with me. And because I know that you have been challenged and you've had to overcome these obstacles, I almost feel like the salmon is just reminding you of your perseverance, that you have, in the past, you have really been swimming upstream. And that's something that salmon must do for their survival. But at some point in time, they do get to return to the swiftly flowing current, and they don't have to swim upstream anymore. And I feel like that time is here with this person that has entered your life, or this job opportunity, or this new path. Your time is here. It's your time now. It's your time now, for real. You're also getting Treasure Island, which is, I associate with the Nine of Cups. It's the 9 in this deck. And I feel like that 9 of Cups that we saw coming out is associated with this. This says, poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs came with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations? Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will lose what you have acquired, so you hold on so tight that you miss the opportunities to expand? You are challenged to change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. Oh my God, I'm hearing amen, 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 amen. Okay? And then your self-care activity for this week is to journal. You can do it once, twice, thrice. You can do it every day. But actively do it. And I'm actually seeing holding a pen, physically writing is so much more powerful than just typing, even though I love the sound of a keyboard. Do a little bit of actual handwriting. Maybe journal some gratitude. Remember that self-care activity from the money reading last week. It guarantees you that abundance flow. So it's a good activity. But definitely some actual journaling this week. Your mantra is abundant wisdom resides within me. Abundant wisdom resides within me. And your journal prompt is, what thoughts or stories would be helpful for you to write about to gain more clarity? Maybe write a few down, pick one, and go. That's your assignment for this week. Should you choose to accept, remember, whether you do the assignment or not, your outcome is still going to be this 5 of Swords and Knight of Cups. For some of you, that means that you're surrendering to a connection. For others, maybe you're still in conflict about it. But I feel that for most of you on this path, with all of the 9 and 10 energy that came through, we're really coming to this completion. In fact, do we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Pretty close to it. Almost. I think we skipped 8. Very cool. All right, everybody. Have a super awesome week. If you would like a private reading with me, you can go to turnedintarot.com, scroll down, you'll find video tarot readings. There's a yes/no option, that's for one question. And then if you have more than one question, there is a video tarot reading. You can try that. If you would like to have a an hour-long session with me, but you find the initial price of the hour-long session a little bit intimidating, might I suggest joining the membership level at the $100 level? That does guarantee you one session a month to be scheduled at your convenience. So you can try out my services basically. And if it works for you and you want to work weekly with me, I also do that. And when I do weekly sessions with somebody, I do work with you on a budget. So if you're interested in that or you need to work on a budget, working weekly might be an option for you that would work. So thank you so much. And I hope that you have a gorgeous day today. Take care, everybody. Enjoy this week.